Hi, I'm Pippa from Kika Marketing. I'm going to show you a plugin that we use to manage code while developing WordPress websites. This plugin is useful if you're managing a website over a long period of time or you're working with a team of developers. It's called Scripts Organizer. Let me show you how it works. Scripts Organizer is a paid plugin for WordPress, but it's only a one-time fee. You can actually use it for an unlimited amount of WordPress installs. I'm going to assume you already know how to install plugins for WordPress, and I'm just going to get into how it works. If you go to your dashboard and scroll down, you'll already see that we have scripts organizers installed here. So within we have access to code blocks, SCSS Partial, code block load order, scripts manager, imports, features, license, and support. So let's just go ahead and look right at the code blocks we've made. So you can see here we have a list of all the codes that we developed for the front end of the website. While this plugin is super powerful, I wouldn't recommend using it for doing any core updates to WordPress or any core theme updates. You should stick to the internal files for that. But as far as any fixes or changes, Scripts Organizer is an awesome option to do that. Let me use a real example here to show you how we use Scripts Organizers. So within some of our blogs, the URLs were not that obvious. So we added this animation and made them blue in color. So for a test, we created blog blue link. And you can see all of our CSS in here. We're able to target the post type specifically so that our codes don't disrupt other areas of the website. You also have some control over the footer if it's a PHP. If you want to change the file type, so for instance, we might optimize this later and turn it to an SCSS file, you just do it right there. It's pretty simple. The only downside to this is on the list, there's no naming convention for the files. At first glance, you don't know what the file type is until you actually click and inspect the file itself. So we just add at the end here what kind of file it is, and maybe some tags here that describe what system it works for, what type of file type it is, so that we can search for the files later on. So this will help speed up development. Another cool thing you can do right out of the box with scripts organizers is you have access to SCSS Partials. So I mentioned before about optimizing. Your SCSS Partials is where you declare your reusable variables. So in my example here, I have a large list of colors and some fonts. And if I go into my code blocks themselves, you can see I'm declaring this blue color 3 times. I can quickly optimize this by switching it to an SCSS file type. And then I can link my variables down here. SCSS Partials Manager, show, select partials, and there it is, Kika variables. So when I go into my file, you can see that I named this primary blue. And then I can go in here and start changing this. The other thing is code blocks order. So every code block you make, you can get this nice visual of which order everything loads in. So if you need a sheet or JavaScript to load before something else, you can just drag it and change the load order position that way. And without going into too much detail, some of the other features are a scripts manager. So you can import JavaScript or CSS that you've created somewhere else. The other one is importing JSON files. So you have the option to import those kinds of scripts in here. I hope this video has been helpful to you and has given you some inspiration on what you can do while coding for WordPress websites.